despite a wide range of accomplishments, like failing to secure the border and constantly having to replace her staff, Vice President Kamala Harris says the press doesn't cover her fairly, claiming, quote, "There are things that I've done as vice president that fully demonstrate the strength of my leadership as vice president that have not received the kind of coverage that I think the Dobbs decision did receive." Here to react is Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, good morning. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Carl. You know, even though I'm at the North Pole right now, my first priority is you and Fox and Friends. So here we are. Congratulations to you, by the way. Knocked up and working on Christmas. Boy. I thought you were the nice one on this
so
end.
Well. Wow. We can always count on you for little gems like that. What is your reaction to this comment from the vice president?
Well, Kamala Harris, Carly, should take caution on what she wishes for, right? Because in terms of leadership, she's failed to lead on her #1 job, and that is securing and solving the crisis that is a catastrophe at the U.S. southern border. And instead, she's been an absentee landlord of a VP on this front. And we've had nearly 5 million people come into this country in the first 2 years of this administration at the border she was put in charge of by the commander-in-chief. Think about what 5 million people is. We have 27 states that have a lower population than 5 million people, and we've already replaced that, or at least added to that, in the first 2 years. So overall, Carly, she's been largely invisible, just like her boss, Joe Biden. Her handlers are terrified, mortified, petrified of putting her in front of a microphone. And she's also yet to hold one press conference as vice president, while her predecessor, Mike Pence, Carly, he held multiple press conferences.
Yeah, and the reason her staff is petrified to have her in front of the microphone is because of moments like this. Watch.
Okay.
And we agreed to advance specific rules and norms in space, international rules and norms. More specifically, regarding rules and norms and international rules and norms.
You guys are going to see. You're going to literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
With your own eyes.
So we invested an additional $12 billion into community banks, because we know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community, as well as the talent and capacity of community.
Right. And, Joe, it's not just the stumbles. It's also these reports that Joe Biden said behind the scenes that she is a work in progress, admitting that. And, you know, the fact that there was this major staff exodus from her staff as well. And the media doesn't really cover that. So they're really doing her a favor here.
And Carly, isn't that comforting that the president thinks that his vice president is a work in progress? The #2 most powerful person in the country is getting on-the-job training. And if Joe Biden doesn't run, apparently she's plan B, but it's more like plan Z at this point, given that she has an authenticity problem, clearly, given that whoever her speechwriter is probably should be replaced if that's the type of lines that she's being fed. And just not a lot of people, including many Democrats, have the confidence that if something were to happen to Joe Biden, or Joe Biden were to say, I'm not running for a second term, and somehow she occupied the Oval Office, that she is remotely ready for this job. So, you know, it's Christmas. I hate to be so cruel and a Grinch on Christmas, but this is the hand that we've been dealt as a result of Joe Biden choosing Kamala Harris over many more qualified people that he could have chosen as his #2.
Well, Joe, you are right. It is Christmas. And because you're in the North Pole, very close to Santa Claus, I got to ask you, what did you get for Christmas?
Let's see. Well, it's more like, what did I get these two for Christmas? See if you could stick in here as much as possible, guys. So this is Cameron and Liam. They are on set, in theory, anyway. There's Cameron. Here, come over, Liam. You got to get on a little more. There you go. Let's see. What did I get? I got a huge credit card bill, Carly. These kids are expensive. The wife also got me a gift certificate to a local gym because I have a belly like Santa these days. So that's nice. But overall, Cameron, what happened last night?
Oh, well, we opened presents, and you almost burnt the house down.
Yes. Apparently, there's a backdraft going on in the old fireplace, and it is old, believe me, Carly. And unfortunately, I nearly burnt the house down, or at least gave all of my relatives smoke inhalation. So it's been a Merry Christmas so far, and I hope you've had one as well.
Nearly is the key word. If it didn't happen, it doesn't count. So there you go.
There's no video of this.
We'll end on a positive there.
Great, guys.
Bye, kids.
Bye.
Have a great Christmas.
Take care. Say bye, Carly.
Bye, Carly.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Such cute kids. See you, Joe.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.